So I still need to take the BOC. I have registered, I have paid, and now I'm currently waiting to get an email from the organization to set up a time to take the test. The earliest that they will email me is on March 16th, and I am going to probably take it the earliest date that it is available, which is March 27th. The rest of my study plan is designed to cover one domain per week, and then it ends over spring break, which gives me spring break and then the rest of the time until taking my BOC to kind of decide which are still my weaker areas and what content do I still need to cover. That content that I still feel the least confident in are skin conditions and just kind of knowing all of the various special tests, and I also do really struggle with the nerve innervations. I've had a lot of practice questions for nerve innervations, so I do need to cover that content as well. So my plan is to mostly focus on those, making sure I hone in on those, and I have been putting them into a separate Quizlet that I will go through after spring break. But for now, I'm still focusing on each domain, spending 1 week with each domain, so I can cover everything that I possibly can. I am still doing practice questions in my practice booklet. I was also gifted another practice booklet, which is where I will go in and over spring break and whatnot, do practice questions for those specific sections that I am still struggling with, as well as I have a study guide that I plan to read over again more in depthly whenever I also am honing in on just the general knowledge. So what is still giving me anxiety? Not passing. That is a very stressful thought because I very much want to pass. But I've also been starting to feel a little bit more reassured about it because I did well on my practice tests, and I know that as long as I continue to put forth effort to learn and practice the knowledge, that I will be successful. So I think the biggest thing is just sticking with my study plan, and which I have been doing. I am slacking a little bit, not able to complete the entire Quizlet because it is almost 240 slides. But I am covering baseball this weekend, so I'll be able to get through those. And especially when I go through the learn mode, you do not get the option of skipping it until you know it for sure. And I will be covering them again later. But nonetheless, I think I am continuing to move forward. What areas are you thriving and feel like you don't need to prep anymore? I'm doing really well with emergency care. I'm also doing pretty well with admin, and my two lowest ones I'm actually doing very well with the interventions as well, now that I have reframed my thought process. So I'm still I know what I need to cover. It is mostly domain 2 being my lowest because it is the deepest and has the largest quantity of content, at least for me, broad-wise. I do well with psychology questions. I still struggle with pharmacology as well, but I have yet to have very many pharmacology questions on the practice test that I've been taking, but who knows what will appear on the actual BOC. I do not know where I'm taking the test yet. It'll be somewhere in St. Louis because the first available date to take it is the week after spring break. So I will be taking it. I'm going to try to take it within that first week, and it'll be somewhere in St. Louis, hopefully a testing location relatively close to home. I plan, and I would like to take it closer to 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning so that I can actually have my morning to get ready and kind of relax, but not too much time. 1 o'clock in the afternoon would just kind of mess with me. So I think I want to try and take it at 9 or 10. That way I can get up in the morning, I can make my breakfast, and it gives me time to get there because I will most likely, depending on how far away it is, leave at least 30 minutes before, if not an hour before, so that I can actually make sure that I'm getting there on time. Probably bring a little snack or something, or water or something to kind of help tide me over, because I also know that I have such bad test anxiety for this exam that it would rest my mind to be there. I'd rather be there early and have to hang out for a little bit than be there late. Some advice that I've been given from some other classmates are to Like they say, take a shot beforehand. I probably will not be doing anything like that. If anything, I'll probably do some like deep breathing or mindfulness, just something to kind of set the tone and relax my brain. And I think the most important thing for me going into this test is trusting my gut and knowing that no matter what happens, it's going to be okay. If I don't pass it, then I take it again, and that's the end of it. And that's all I can do. So the BOC is still a very scary concept in my mind, but it is not as scary as it was before. Taking these practice tests has really helped me to kind of solidify that I know my stuff and that it will be all right. And talking to other like certifieds about their process of taking the BOC and how they prepared, it makes me feel even more that I will be successful, because I know that I have been putting in a minimum of an hour to 2 hours nearly Monday through Friday for months. So I know that as long as I continue with the process that I've established, I will be successful. It is just a matter of getting there and taking the test.